Alright, hello everybody, Frouwo here once again, bringing you game number 4 in this best of 5 of EoT versus 5NQ, sitting in the round of 4 of Nexon Sponsorship League Season 3. I'm going to hop right into the picks bands. Once again, EoT thus far betting out the Slark, the Lifestealer, the Naga, as well as the Templar Assassin. 5NQ betting out the Visage, the Venomancer, the OD, and the Bane. Sick of that Bane. Alchemist of the Nine. First pickup again for EoT. EoT really liking that Alchemist. Rana also a pickup from EoT, as well as Lich and Pugna. 5NQ thus far picking up the Timbersaw, the Crystal Maiden, and the Nyx Assassin. Timbersaw proving very deadly in the first couple game 2, which he was played. I don't think he was played in the last game. He was indeed banned out, I believe. Luna picked up by 5NQ though, will be played likely by our carry Anarchy. Not having the strong showing last game on the Lifestealer, but hopefully to change with a Luna pickup, a hero that can flash form much more efficiently. But the Nyx Assassin also picked up by 5NQ. So yeah, we'll have to see how this game turns out. 5NQ on the back foot now, but still up 2-1 in this series, looking to win that last game and secure their seed into the winners finals. EoT though, were on the brink of elimination in the lower bracket last game, but fought back and now holding on for their upper bracket lives, I'd say. So, betting out the Elder Titan and 5NQ betting out the Storm Spirit. And it'll be interesting to see which mid heroes are picked up this game, unless we do have the Pugna mid or the Marana mid or something like that. But having seen how the games have been played by the Koreans lately, the Pugna probably a safe laner, Marana the long laner, and Death Prophet is the last pickup from EoT. EoT going full push, even though they've picked up a Lich. Full push specifically with the Pugna and the Death Prophet. 5NQ gonna have to answer. Likely should pick up some sort of very AoE heavy mid hero, maybe like a Kunkka, maybe a well, I mean, they have Timbersaw already too, so they may not even need it. But the Night Stalker is the last pickup for 5NQ. Seems the roles are being switched around though. Q actually going to be on the, well, I'm actually going to wait, because last time for some reason I do believe that they were the teams were swapping around heroes, so who knows. But let's check on 5NQ. This game are leaders in the series. Sagan again going to be playing that Timbersaw. Cynical. Nope, Cynical actually staying on the Night Stalkers. Cynical maybe our solo mid Night Stalker this game, or it could be safe laning. Still don't really know. Function again on the Crystal Maiden. QO going to be the safe lane Luna, so it likely is to be a solo mid Night Stalker. Anarchy on our Nyx, and I already introduced Sagan on our Timbersaw. But RY going to be on the Death Prophet. Certainly going to have an easy time against that Cynical Night Stalker mid. Chrissy on the Pugna, so it is going to be actually a safe lane farming Pugna against the Timbersaw. So Timbersaw may have his hands full, as one hit bursts, much like Pugna's Nether Blasts, really aren't something he deals too well with. Reactive Armor doesn't counter that too well. But Jumong on the Marana, Pyong on the Lich, and Cast again playing our Alchemist, dropping the wards mid for RY. But this Lich gonna prove certainly a big impact in this lane, as he will be leeching experience and denying it all from 5NQ in this bottom lane. So 5NQ gonna struggle in the early levels getting that experience in the tri lane. Chrissy, meantime, picking up a haste room top, just gonna run back to lane with it. Not gonna try anything fancy, ganking mid or something. Actually, not a tri lane from EoT on this bottom lane, just gonna send Mirana as well as the Lich. And 5Q gonna know nearly instantly, why did they play 3 creeps in lane? The Lich must be there. But Sagan gonna farm up on this bottom lane. Or top lane rather. I was distracted for a second. And Cass gonna start pulling, it seems. And first another blast missing from Chrissy, so Sagan gonna be able to sustain the lane a little bit longer. ROI already having his bottle given to him. Cynical in the meantime. Also having his bottle ferried out. QO suffering on this bottom lane. Not too much. Still the same levels as Mirana, so it's not absolutely terrible. Anarchy actually has no experience, so compared to the dual lane combo of EoT, certainly under level or under experience a bit. And PN just gonna keep sapping that experience up. Casting time pulling, denying Sagan a bit more experience even. And our mid, Cynical, getting a bit low. Having to use that void for creeps actually. Can't get in too close or the death power will start nuking him down once again. Probably gonna rotate top, look for the rune, and indeed finds it. It is an illusion rune. Good news for him. Certainly not the best rune, but any rune is good if you can refill your bottle. And Cynical purchasing up the boots and on the way now. Likely going to start bottle crawling as he is at a severe disadvantage in this lane, so he's going to need it. And QO, level 3. Out leveling Mirana, but obviously Anarchy still pretty low on experience, still level 2. And Frostblast harass out of the Lich. Responding with the Lucent Beam harass and cast. Looking to harass a bit, but a bit too low. Doesn't want to get blown up instantly by Sagan. Cass may start turning up a stun any second now, and with that Nether Blast, with that stun, Sagan could certainly take a lot of damage. However, just going to resort to another pull. Jumong, in the meantime, going to contest the pull on bottom. Pyong really not doing anything but sacrificing in lane, so may rotate down towards Anarchy at least. Cheeky last hit from Jumong there on the creeps. And Pyong dancing around. Jumong also. And they're just gonna rotate towards mid now. See him as well as Anarchy. Cynical likely crying for help at this point. Guys. Death Prophet too strong. I cannot handle all this burst damage as well as the right clicks. So Anarchy and Function likely getting a kill here, and no Frostbite out from Crystal Maiden, so Crystal Maiden being a bit too slow on that, not rotating fast enough, and in consequence not getting the kill. Night Stalker now very low, gonna have to return to base likely or wait for his bottle to return. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Sagan continuing to farm up. Chrissy a bit low certainly, and missing that second pull of the creeps. But yeah, Night Stalker doesn't really have potential to go out and gank right now. Still waiting on more life, more mana, I guess. Didn't get too much out of that middle lane because the Death Prophet had been harassing so hard. So actually, it'd be a good idea to check the creep score and prove that point. Actually, even at this point. So I have no idea why there hasn't been a rotation yet. Likely just waiting for level 6 or maybe level 7 so we can get that 1 point in silence and stop heroes like Mirana from leaping away or Pugna decrepifying him. But 5Q picking a moderately gank-heavy lineup, I'd say. Not really ganking for the first 5 minutes. Actually, no kills, no first blood spill yet, and it's already 5 minutes in the game, so pretty interesting compared to how it's gone the last game. Usually with rotation mid from EoT or from 5NQ, just manhandling a certain lane early on in the game. But that may all change. Lich working towards mid, probably just going to sacrifice a creep start. Oh, I already had sacrifice on cooldown. Just rotating mid for the experience, I'd assume. Jumong in the meantime. Maybe ganked up here. Anarchy deciding not to go in, rather sitting ways away. Harassment out from the Lucent Beam though. In QO. And QO actually farming up very nicely now. Has his treads, his Basilius. Level 6 as well. 3 points in that Lucent Beam, 2 in the Aura. Arrow coming out from Mirana. I guess working its way towards Cynical, but Cynical being too far out and essentially not being able to even be hit by that arrow. 5NQ though, gonna start working on this tower. Luna with that high base damage with the Aura, and in the meantime, mid, Chrissy, RY, actually just going to push on this tower now. That's what I was trying to figure out, why, if they're just ganking up or not, but dropping the ward, RY popping the ult, and Chrissy, RY, and seems as if Chrissy is going to kill Anarchy. Chrissy, however, going to go down in the process. Worth it though, traded for the first blood, got the experience. However, a kill going to the Night Stalker, certainly not something you want, but for the first blood, I guess, totally worth. But that initial push attempt from EoT on the middle tower really didn't work out, even though it did force 2 reactionary teleports from 5NQ to stop it. Meantime, on top, Sagan harassing, well, not really harassing Alchemist, but trying to get that tower down, get that tower money. It's proved to be very potent in these Korean games. Usually the leader with the most, the person who has the most towers down by like the 20-minute mark or whatever usually wins, as I've seen in the past series, aside from that one game where they had the 4 Protect 1 strategy. And I've started really employing that this game, however. Actually, it could be debated that Luna is trying to sit on that, but EoT rotating middle now, really looking for the push once again. Alt up in 16 from RY, so ward drop by Chrissy, and fortified just before the blast hits, I believe. And tower's gonna go down now without even an alt from RY. And Chrissy gonna be stunned up here, Lucent Beam, and drops. Oh, figures he was safe with the ward there, but Pugna just proving too squishy a hero. But in the meantime, 5NQ going to take the top tower, exchanging that top tower for the mid. Pugna dying for that mid tower ever, so EoT coming out, or no, 5NQ coming on top, I'd say, and EoT not getting there in time. RY really not going to be able to kill either of these heroes without a silence. Not really fast enough yet, working towards his drums, however. And Night Stalker working towards an urn. A bit late for an urn timing, I'd say, but why not? It's always nice to have an urn. So, 2 towers in 5NQ's name now. Bottom tower and the top tower, and EoT only achieving that middle tower with their pushing lineup, so EoT really going to have to start working on getting more towers with this lineup, really being the goal, seeming to push down the towers. So, yeah. 5NQ sitting pretty comfortable right now, deflecting the first couple of pushes from EoT and company. But for top now, EoT is going to try and push this in. Another word dropped, however, by Chrissy once again. Another blast spam, just so good against towers. Rana, in the meantime, going to try and take a fight against Luna. Going to back off, however. So 3 top for 5NQ, 4 for EoT, and really just going to have to try and spam down this tower with another ward or another blast, and not really what you want. It'd be much more preferable to have Death for a proper ult and be able to stand on top of the tower and just do maximum damage. Cynical, in the meantime, now has a double damage bottled, so should EoT come up on this top lane a bit more, and we have the Death Prophet ult, so just pulling the creeps back at this point. Anarchy chilling in that corner though. EoT trying to protect him, but doesn't work out. Tower goes down, and nice target about to come in from the back. Indeed he is. Looking for stragglers. Chrissy seems to be the target. Chrissy dodging, juking, turning in circles. And Cynical actually going to fall here for his insolence, trying to gank with 4 EoT heroes right next to him. Or? No? Oof, barely making it out so far. Gonna deny himself to the neutrals. Very well played by Cynical, turning that terrible situation into a not so terrible one. Meanwhile, QO getting the last hit on the mid tower. So Luna now seeing that Helm Dominator treads and 1300 gold. Tower's nearly even now. Even 5Q actually still up 1. So EoT with the push strat, really not executing it too perfectly. Anarchy in the meantime, Vendetta, no stun however, misses as he was waiting for the leap, but leap came a bit delayed, so misses it. Or doesn't even bother, I guess. And yeah. Seems like Chrissy's going to be working towards the Necro. RY drums on the courier, now completed. Cast again with the medallion. Pyong just sitting on the boots that regen. Tranquils. But let's take a look at 5NQ's farm thus far. Aside from Luna, Timbersaw sitting on a point booster as well as those boots. Function Tranquils, Anarchy with the Sork, or the Arcane boots. Yasha, actually, Luna is working on now, and Cynical finishing up the urn, but nothing else much to show for. Actually has an Aura Club on the way. I was trying to figure out, might have been running a little low on money. Youtuber now going to push this bottom lane, finally make the towers even. Ward drop by Chrissy, Sagan. Trying to do what he can to stop the push, but that ward proving too pesky, spamming too many spells will indeed get him killed. Tower gonna go down here, and Luna in the meantime gonna try and push that mid tower with Cynical, likely to do the same to top. And Anarchy gonna throw a stun on Jumong. Jumong in a bit of trouble here, gonna leap out and ult from QO, not being able to finish Jumong off, gonna eat a stun from Cast, then from Jumong, and just blown up once again. Well, not once again, for the first time this game at least. So Luna dying for the first time, diving a bit too deep on Mirana. Wasn't expecting a lot of TP reactions in from EoT. That middle tower taking a moderate amount of damage, but nothing that really puts it in range of an easy kill. And Anarchy in the meantime, in the mid lane, 4 EoT heroes in the nearby vicinity. Anarchy seeing all of them backing off pretty much immediately. They're chasing. I really want this kill on Anarchy. Anarchy just gonna actually bend it up and run away. But EoT actually not wanting to kill, just straight up push mid. This is what their lineup's designed to do. So they're going to have to do it as well as they can. All pop by RY now, and Chrissy going to keep swinging those early blasts after dropping that ward already. And stun coming out from Nyx, hitting 3. All popped by Lich. Nyx going down instantly to that ult. And arrow flying out from Mirana. Not going to hit anyone, and the tower mid goes down. EoT just disengage instantly, knowing that once Death Prophet's ult is down, that they're really in a bit of trouble. So let's take a check of the XP and gold graphs now. Gold sharply declining, likely due to the recent tower kill, maybe gonna hit even again after that. And experience still very much in 5Q's favor. It's certainly not the worst situation for them, but not the best, as it is trending downwards. Not in their favor. Stacks on stacks from 5Q, however. Not gonna be able to. What is that? A quad? It would not able to quad stack it at that point. Jibong, however, farming up, has drums now, and Chrissy now getting that Necro 1. Byung sitting on not too much, and RY in this top lane, double damage on Cynical. RY gonna be blown up here. Oh, Stun's expended from 5Q too fast. Certainly a miscue from them, as Death Prophet is able to teleport away with their stuns being used in quick succession. Maybe believing that function was close enough to get a stun off and stop the teleport, but to no avail. It did not happen, and Death Prophet makes it out alive. Anyway, 5Q, or QO, farming up that Yasha now finally, and Mirana finishing the drums. BKB still not completed on Cynical. No real surprise there. He's been really low on kills this game, and CSing is pretty difficult as Night Stalker. But Death Prophet now also sitting on that drums as well as the Mechanism. Mechanism surely saving her in that last gank up top. But should EoT want to take this late game, they're certainly not going to be in any good sort of shape to do so. Mirana building drums instead of a late game kind of sort of carry item. But it doesn't really matter. EoT going to take the Roshan now. Death Prophet popping her ult, and it's going to fall very, very quickly with Medallion on Alchemist. So with 5Q now likely falling further and further behind. And gonna push bottom now, all rotating over towards that lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Night Stalker, rather Luna, pushing top. Mirana may look for an arrow here. Indeed she does. Misses, however. Now may be in a bit of trouble. Leap. Ult from Luna, and boom goes the Mirana. And top tower gonna go down for EoT. 5Q trying to even up in the terms of towers, but Night Stalker pushing mid isn't really gonna work out too well. Alchemist being back there to defend. In the meantime, however, Function gonna be on the bottom lane, as well as Anarchy. Stun up from Anarchy onto RY. RY just blown up instantly with the Timber Saw. Now Chrissy in trouble. And Lucent Beam from the Luna cancels that teleport just before it completes, and Chrissy now going to go down. So two of EoT's core heroes, main heroes for this pushing lineup, falling in that fight. No tower in exchange at all either. So 5Q bouncing back very well with that coordinated gank by Anarchy, Function, and the rest of 5Q. Aside from the Night Stalker very uninvolved, still 1-1-0. Does have his BKB though, so I guess he's got that going for him. And Alk actually finishing up a Necro now on the courier, and there it is. So yeah, 5Q starting to try and take control back of this game again. The longer the game goes on, 5Q have a higher and higher chance of winning it. EoT not really having any carry per se. They do have Mirana, they do have Alk, but Alk obviously playing the support role, and Mirana building drums as her first item. Not the best of carry items. So EoT in response just gonna push down mid, gonna try and get that one Rax and set them up for a heavy advantage this game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And all of 5 and Q really going to need to be back here for this push. Night Stalker actually going back and grabbing a teleport.
Dire's bottom
Meantime though, Luna pushes a T2 tower in with that double damage. And ward plays down from Chrissy. Timbersaw in the back actually. EoT maybe feel a little cornered in here. But tower going down very quickly with the Luna ult as well, or with the Death Prophet ult, as well as 2 sets of Necros. Luna teleporting in now, gonna pop the BKB and ult as soon as she gets here. Indeed she does. Ult coming out from QO. Cast about to fall. And tower goes down, but no Rax. Lich being stunned up, but no true sight for the Radiant team. And all but Alchemists are going to get out safely. So a tier 3 mid taken out by EoT. So EoT likely on the next push will get those racks if 5 and Q aren't able to defend it. 5 and Q though, resting on the soldiers of QO this game, really needs to get as much farm as he can on that Luna, so they can take that distinct advantage with their carry. As again, Rana, nothing on the carrier but 1500 gold and no real late game carry items kind of picked up, just sitting on those drums still. And Luna gonna start chipping away at the tower, silenced up by ROI, however. Cass gonna throw the stun out onto Cynical. Cynical eating the arrow and gonna make it out alive just barely from Chrissy's ult. EoT likely just gonna try and push mid once again. No TP on Night Stalker once again. Keep saying once again, but it's happening multiple times, so there's really no other word to say there. And this Rack's certainly gonna go down now. No Fortify Bell for 5 and Q. Cynical coming from the back, however, gonna go right onto Chrissy. Chrissy going down quickly. Cast maybe next in line, or Pyong, one of the two. Pyong going down, Cast going down next. QO falling to the Death Prophet ult, just doing too much damage over time. Oh boy, oh. Death Prophet just doing so much work against nearly the entire 5 and Q team. Mid melee racks go down now. Oh. It's not a good fight taken by 5 and Q as they do lose racks. As hard as they tried, didn't even matter. Sagan actually, I don't believe was there that entire fight, so miscue from him, I guess. Really, I guess just didn't TP in. Had Sagan been there, likely would have gotten kills a lot quicker, maybe been able to kill the Death Prophet as well, but I get no idea. I guess big misplay out of Sagan there. Now has boot to travel though, so he's got it for next time. 5 and Q not going to suffer with this mid rack pushed in. Luna can deal with it pretty well, but really Timber can as well. So I mean, it's not a big deal, but the gold and experience penalty is always, of course, something that matters. And as we see in the gold difference earned as well as experience, 5 and Q still very much in the lead, even though it seems to be trending somewhat in the direction of EoT. 5 and Q though now going to look to turn around on EoT and maybe get this game back in total control. And Courier, don't fall off the Courier bait, don't do it. Team, no. Alright, well, Courier killed anyway, and EoT now know 5 and Q is here. Just a huge ult from Luna and Lich. Lich now falling, Luna falling, Nyx falling, Timber falling. So 3 down for 5 and Q. Crystal Maiden being pretty low, as well as Cynical. Cynical just going to try and drag the enemy team away from the tower. Very well timed delay strategy from him. And gonna make it full round this stretch of cheese here. And EoT not gonna be able to take the tower. So delaying is what 5 and Q really needs. Just needs more farm on that Luna so they can really push EoT back much more efficiently. But I guess the Courier did indeed go down for EoT, so plus side on 5 and Q's part. Another tower in EoT's name though, so not the best trade-off. And I do believe Luna did buy back for that fight, so yes, cannot earn unreliable gold. Now can, however, so back to farming for QO. And EoT, although behind in experience as well as gold, still managing to take towers with their push into the lineup. Really, I have to say that Sagan is just not performing as well as he was in the earlier games this series, or this game specifically. Now with the entire enemy team about to collapse upon him, but making it out in time, arrow hitting a neutral, so he's going to make it out. In the meantime, Cynical as well as QO going to push in the top tower, but they will not be able to match the rate at all that EoT can push in their top tower, so certainly unless they force key heroes like Pugna and Deathfront to port back, it's not going to be of any effect, and they're just going to lose this T3 tower very quickly. Already half damage done as I say that. And Cynical running in, killing the ward, decrepified by Chrissy. Alt going out onto Sagan now. Sagan forced back straight away. Now Cynical in a bit of trouble. Lich Alt going out onto him, kills him. Luna now going down after as well. Oof. Pyong getting a double there, and EoT just going to force on the second set of racks, and this has to be GG for 5&Q, even with the gold lead, even with the experience lead. Down 2 sets of racks. Luna cannot really push back that well from this far down. So 5&Q now down 2 sets of racks. Luna as well as the Night Stalker dead, and really just EoT's hero choices coming to fruition in essence. I mean, the Pugna, the Death Prophet, all just coming together before they fall off, like in the late game with like another 10-13 minutes or 10-20 minutes, and this game had gone on any longer, really EoT would be out of it. They're not even bothering farming at this point. They're just waiting for the Roshan. No point really in farming, is they do understand that the farm has no effect on how they're going to perform for the next push. Sagan them now in a bit of trouble. Going to make it out, however. And it seems as if 5&Q want to take a fight here, but no Luna for this fight right now. She is dead currently, and going to TP immediately out to the mid lane, and Cynical pops BKB as the stun hits. Nick's running the stun onto the Prophet, and 5&Q going to back up, cannot really contest the Roshan. Luna's now here, however, so let's see what happens. Loads of transmute damage from the Necro minions going out onto Luna. And Dire getting that Roshan very easily, even though the Death Prophet ult was popped. Chrissy picking up the Aegis, better on her than RY, as RY can only pop his ult once. And Chrissy can really just do consistent damage with the Nether Blast. So 5&Q now down 2 lanes of racks, and slowly losing their gold and experience advantage. Just trying to cling on at this point, hoping they can turn it around and manage to somehow end up throning EoT, because I doubt they'd ever try to resign at this point in the game. And yeah, so let's check items real quick because it's been a little while. Seems as if ROI is going to be working towards either Shiva's or an Assault Kuros. Chrissy, Necro 3, Ultimate Orb, not sure what it's going to be built into. Probably a Hex. Jumong now has the Yasha Ultimate Orb, likely going to be turning that into a Manta. Cast, Necro 3, Pyong, Necro 1. So loads of Necro coming out onto EoT. QO stunned up there by the arrow, and QO taking a lot of damage. Pugna, however, being blown up in the process. Alk gonna make it alive. Sagan blows up enough heroes, but doesn't manage to make it alive, just ends up dying. And Cynical, gonna die here as well. And GG called out by 5 and Q. They've had enough. They can't deal with this push anymore. Just too many misplays out by them. Even though they were ahead, they just couldn't take grasp of the game. They couldn't handle the 5 men from EoT. Couldn't handle the push, and just not grouping well enough for those tower defenses. But anyway, this was Frouwo casting this game for you guys. Game number 4 in the Next One Sponsorship League Season 3. And yeah, this is going to go to a Game 5. But in the meantime, if you enjoy the cast, really appreciate it. If you liked it, share it, spread the word, subscribe, like, that kind of stuff. If you didn't like it, I really appreciate constructive criticism. Contact me via Twitch, via YouTube, via Twitter, and I will try and improve upon the things you mentioned, etc., etc. I will see you guys in Game 5. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later.